you guys haven't gotten your hands on too many footballs yet?
I don't know. This is you know, this happened a couple of times, over my career, and I just think that it happens in bunches. Sometimes you look at film and you see the safety from Pittsburgh. All of a sudden, he's covering a guy. He gets blocked. The ball goes through the tight end's hands. He's covering into his hands. Oh, did he make a great play or was it a tip play? So a lot of times you see it happen on film, and you tell your guys, keep doing what you're doing. Don't start pressing, because as soon as you do, you're going to screw it up. You can't press to make turnovers. They're going to happen, and I'm a firm believer they happen in bunches.
Jerry, what do you guys need to do to shore up some things when teams run those crossing routes against you guys?
Well, to me, just like we talked about earlier, I'm a firm believer that rush and coverage go hand in hand, and we got to be tighter on those crossing routes. I think that, when we played, example like Tampa, we didn't give Tom Brady a lot of time to run those deep crossers. He got one. And I think that's the biggest thing that we have to do, and we got to continually keep doing. Your rush and coverage go hand in hand, and we just got to make sure that stays a staple for us. And our guys got to understand that when you're covering.
So, Jerry, teams know how to stress your defense when they run that post, and Savage has to make a decision whether he's going to go deep or take the crossing route. Are they stressing, that the scheme in particular?
No. Every offense has that play, so it's not just one thing. I think when it doesn't show up on film, you really never talk about it, and it has kind of stressed us a couple of times, with Minnesota, and then with the guys last week. The biggest thing, like I said, we have to do is we got to work it more in practice. For me, I know I have to do a better job to get my guys understanding what that is and what they're trying to do. So now beat them guys over there. And, I don't want to say that the over route, hey, Savage, go do the over route and give up a touchdown. And then you're going to talk about the touchdown. So my job is don't let them throw touchdowns over your head. Do what we did last year, get back to what we're comfortable doing. And I think that, right now, guys are settling in. And trust me, we'll right the ship.
Jerry, how do you think Rasul's handled playing in the slot?
I think he's done a good job. One of the biggest things is that he played in the slot the first game, and then Jai kind of went down, so he had to go back outside. And, so he'd been outside for 2 weeks, so now he's back inside. And I think, again, one of the things that we got to do is get him back comfortable, getting all our guys in the positions that they're done. And I know we're used to being, hey, Sully was inside, that we had guys outside that was for 3 years. It looked good, and the guys did the same thing. And, right now we're getting in that position where once we get all our guys healthy at the same time, then you'll see guys doing the same job over and over and over.
Do you think Rasul's better? He was so good last year outside. Do you think he's better off out there?
Well, to me, I think that's one thing that we got to see. If he make plays inside, then he'll be better inside. If he starts making plays outside, we'll put him back outside. So I think that's the biggest thing that we got to do is find out what he's really, really good at and what we're good at for our team, not just for one person, and just try to make sure that we get our guys in those positions to make their plays. And Rasul, I think he'll be fine. He understands what we're trying to get him to do, and, to help the team win, not just, hey, this is best for him.
He made a ton of plays on the football last season. He doesn't have a pick so far this season. How much of that is just the nature of his head spinning a little bit as he's going back and forth and settling into a new position?
Well, I don't know how much that is. I haven't had a chance to say, hey, is your head spinning into that? To me, like I said, I think he's a really good football player. He understands. He made a lot of plays for us last year when he wasn't expected to make plays. So now the expectations there, he needs to make plays in some people's eyes. And I think he doesn't have a pick in 5 games. Well, he didn't have a pick the first 5 games either because he wasn't on our team. And then he came back and he made plays. So I think if we don't panic and everybody else around us don't panic, I think he'll be fine. And we got 12 games to go. And you know what? We're going to do what we're going to do best.
What do you thought of Eric's play to play? Like, he's probably been thrown at 15, 20 times. I don't think he has any deflections even. I guess just on a play to play basis, what have you thought there?
Well, to me, I think one of the big things that I talked to Eric about is being a young corner in this league. I can go back in my career, and I was standing behind 2 All-Pro guys as a rookie, and I thought I was ready to play. Oh man, I need to play. Well, guess what? You wasn't ready to play. And then when I got thrown in there, they had an All-Pro over here and a rookie or a second-year guy. They threw it the second-year guy. And the big thing to me, I think, is Eric's the mental part of, hey, they throwing the ball at me and they throwing it to other guys. And you want them to throw at you because that's how you make your plays. And I think that's what he needs to get back to doing. That's my conversation with him. Talent is there. It's the same thing it was last year. There was no expectation of Eric last year from anyone. And all of a sudden, when Jai went down, he came in and played pretty good. So now the expectation's there. And I think that's the thing that he needs to understand. The more the expectation, the more disappointment if you don't reach that from other people's eyes. So don't let the other people determine who you are. You got to make your own plays, and when you start making them, that's when they'll start going and writing other good stories about you, because it's going to happen. It always does.
You know, I'm no DB expert, never played in my life. I don't hardly know a thing about it, but he's super fast. Is that a guy that maybe needs to be a bit more aggressive, whether it's his own play or put in a position to be more aggressive? Because, you know, if he gets beat, shoot, he'll just go run it down, right?
Well,
I'm totally wrong.
Well, we know he's going to run him down, but it's not as simple as that. You know, the biggest thing that he has to do, to me personally, is to keep doing what he's doing. Get back to what you did last year, and stop trying to meet everybody else's expectations of who you are. You know who you are. You did it at the University of Georgia. You did it before you got here. Do it here, and don't worry about what other people are writing about you. Just go do your job. Because when you're reading the paper, you're not going to like it. Because when you do something good, guess what? They're going to pump you up. When you do something bad, they're going to write bad stuff about you. So stop reading that. Get back to what you were doing when they wasn't writing about you. And I think he'll be fine.
Sure, I know what your defense is and what you guys are trying to do. You know, it's how it's run, and you play a lot of zone. But how do you be an aggressive defensive back in that system? I mean, what is aggressive defensive back, particularly like against the Giants? And I don't know if that was just your game plan for that week or whatever, but you're playing off and you're catching guys. How do you be, you know, aggressive in that situation?
Well, I know Coach Barry is going to be up here, and he's an architect and he's a defensive coordinator. So I know you'll get those questions tomorrow, and he'll answer those. You know, especially the schematic part. Now, as far as the defensive back, like I said, we got to be more aggressive ourselves and not sit there and wait for a schematic or something like that to tell us what to do.